Hey, welcome everybody. This is going to be Psychology 157. I'm here in my home office recording the videos for you guys. It'll be lectures. It's a little dark, but I don't really have the motivation to give you guys any production value in this video. So, anyways, it is what it is. And let me scroll down here. So this is the course that you guys are already here. You can kind of see these spot holders. Those are going to be replaced with obviously these videos, so you're not going to see those. But you can see this is very much a rough shell of what the course is going to look like, because it'll hopefully look much different whenever you guys see it, because these spot holders will hopefully be replaced with the videos. And so for this particular video, the course introduction video, I'm going to go over the syllabus, the course schedule, and this authentication survey thing that I just learned about yesterday. So I'll cover that. So first thing, go ahead and click on that syllabus. It's actually pretty straightforward. I'm pretty happy with this syllabus I just made. If you don't know, I'm going to pull up my downloaded version. It should be, actually I better download it just in case I uploaded a different version. But if you don't know, this class was just recently formulated, just conceived by somebody in the psych department. And it just so happened at the time I was like, hey, you have any psych classes you want to teach? Because I'm tired of teaching English. Don't tell anybody that one. But if you don't know, I teach English as well. So, or if you took my English class, you probably know that already. But anyways, I told them that, and they said, hey, yeah, we have this new class we want to pitch. The only caveat is you have to make it. And so that was about 2 weeks ago. So here we are. We're finally reaching the finish line on that one. Anyways, so the summer quarter, here's all my contact information. That's also in the syllabus section. Like if you were actually in the course and clicked here, you can see all this stuff, which I know a lot of people have, because I got like 8 emails that are like, or text, and people are asking like, hey, I can see this, I can contact you, but I can't open these 2 files. That's because I haven't actually published anything at the time that I'm making this video, and that is, what are we, 6:28, so it's Thursday at 8:40 in the morning. And so anyways, now you're able to see this stuff, obviously. And so these are 3 books. Let me see if I have them down here somewhere. Oh, yeah. Okay, so I just recently read these, so they are fresh in my mind. But first and foremost, I don't have those in the right order on the syllabus. I just kind of have them there kind of linked up with what's below them. This one's for motivation theory, kind of. This one obviously is for emotional intelligence, and this one here is leadership theory. So the first one we're begin reading is this one, and I can't see my video. Let me pull it up real quick. There we are. I'm going to make this a little bigger. Bam. Okay, so this is the video, the book that we'll start off reading, the first 2 chapters, and for the first week, and they are more or less a history. The idea here behind this, and I have a lecture video I'm going to give in just a few minutes here, but this book, these authors, you have to remember that these authors are trying to sell their new theory, and saying that all the theories that we currently have, or that we've had in the past, as far as psychology of leadership go, those aren't good enough, basically. And so they're trying to sell their new psychology of leadership. And so that's the reason I say that isn't to discount what they're selling, which I actually think of what they're selling in here is a pretty good idea, but it's to tell you that you shouldn't discount the history of the theory that they give in the first 2 chapters. And actually, I'm going to cut myself off there and explain that in the lecture video. Anyways, these are all good books. The 7 Habits obviously is kind of world renowned, so that's I'm not even going to bother mentioning that one, because everybody's probably at least heard of it, and if not, well, you're going to hear a lot about it in this class. So these are kind of the 3 focal points of this class. And if you don't know, that's kind of what the point is. It's psychology of leadership. And this down here, I'm on my home computer, so my mouse is a little sketchy because I play a lot of video games here. So this is the pie graph. This is how everything's broken down in the class. So essentially, you only have 6 categories of assignments. The first assignment was the one that you guys have already emailed. That'll be due the first week here, along with some other stuff. I should probably put a submission block here. And so by the time you see this video, I'm going to put one, and it'll be right here between course schedule. Actually, I'm going to put it after authentication survey. You know what? I'll just do it right now, so you can kind of see what I'm dealing with when I do this stuff. And so that's going to be first assignment, submission block, and I'm going to add that, and I'm going to move it right up here. So once you see that, just click on this, and this will be where you submit it. I can't show you per se. Actually, sorry, the camera is in the way of this, so I'll do that later. But Going back to the syllabus, that first assignment will now have an assignment block. The self-reflection essays, I'll explain those down here somewhere, so I'll come back to that. But just know that they're worth 50% of the grade. You'll have one research essay that'll be worth 100 points. Oh, sorry, not 50%, 10%, 50 points. And this one, the research essay will be worth 100 points or 20%. Same thing with the presentation of that research essay at the end, which will be interesting because it's an online class. And so one of the things that I recently learned is that the online classes here at Lindenwood want a video measure to kind of make sure that the person that says they're taking the class is the one that's actually taking the class, and so that you're not hiring somebody to just kind of come in and do your class for you. And so the way that they want me to do that is to have you guys record some videos. And so one of the videos that you record is that actual presentation at the end, which makes it pretty easy because if you've had me from the past, you know that I have a pretty clear rubric as far as the presentations go. But when it's online, it's nice because you can kind of trim down the video to include only the things that you wanted to include if you want to put a little production value in there. Late policy is our class stems from Monday to Sunday, and so sorry, the camera's still in the way. We are going to start here on the 2nd, and then you'll have Monday, and then all the ways assignments will be due on midnight at Sunday, at midnight on Sunday. And so if it's late, then it's every day past that is worth 10 points. So if something's due on Sunday the 8th and you turn it in on Wednesday, that's 10 points per day after the due date. So if it was due on the 8th at midnight and you turn it on the 9th, that'd be minus 10 points, right? Minus 20 points if you turn it in Tuesday, I mean. Minus 30 points if you turn it in Wednesday. Thursday would be 40 points, and so on and so forth. So make sure that if you're going to turn something in, you turn it in within 10 days of it being late, because otherwise it's not really worth any points at that point. And then, of course, there's a one-time late pass. If you've taken me in the past, then you know what that means. It just essentially, if you have an assignment, let's say, I don't know, the first assignment, you forgot to do it and you just don't feel like doing it because you don't want to fall behind, because you really want to focus on the first week's assignment. The one-time late pass lets you apply it to one assignment, and you can push that off as long as you want, as long as you turn in by the end of the semester. And so for us, I think that is, well, we're still in quarters, so I don't know, it's the middle of September, I think. So if you decide to use your one-time late pass, maybe on an essay or maybe on, I don't know, one of the participation things, most likely it'll be on a reflection essay or the research essay or something. But anyways, if you want to use that, you can, I'll put a 0 in for the assignment, but that just means that when you submit the assignment, you just type in the comments, I'm using my late pass for this, and then I'll give you the 100 points that you deserve. But you can only use that once. And again, you can turn that in any time in the semester as long as it's for the last day of class. And please do notify me prior to being late, because if you have extenuating circumstances, then most likely I'll work with you, as long as, I mean, honestly, I don't care if you guys turn stuff in late. With that being said, I'd still have to take off points because it wouldn't be fair to those people that turn their assignments in early. But to be quite honest with you, if you just told me, hey, I didn't feel like doing it, so I didn't do it, okay, I don't care. You know the rules, and so as long as you're okay with the rules, the 10 points per day, I don't judge. So that's completely up to you. However, if you say, you know, I'm late because, or I'm going to be late because I have to do something, a family member died, or my house flooded, or something, then just notify me before the assignments due. Don't come to me, you know, the day of and be like, oh yeah, last week I was, my house burned down and I didn't have anything. I'm gonna be like, really? You didn't mention that beforehand? So just tell me, keep me up to date on what's going on in the life, so that I know what to expect as far as assignments go. One-time late pass, here's where I explain that. And of course the grading scale is a normal grade. Basically 90 is an A, 80 is a B, 70 is a C, 60 is a D, and anything below 60 is an F. And so I do round up, that's why I put 0.5 here. So it's greater than 89.5. If you get an 89.5, that's an A, because I round up to 90. 79.5, I round up to 80, you get a B, and so on and so forth. If you need to withdraw, that's not on me. I don't have anything to do with that. So if you want to withdraw, go talk to your advisor. I didn't realize these were not spaced properly. Anyways, plagiarism, obviously, don't plagiarize. I have a very particular view on plagiarism. If you take me in the past, then that I don't necessarily assume that anything you don't cite is plagiarism, which technically it is, but more so because I teach English, I'm more of the type of person who is focused on you making a good argument. So if you give me information, I'm not going to assume you plagiarized. I'm going to assume you're lying, which isn't necessarily that much better. But it as far as that goes, I'm not going to necessarily assume you're lying. I'm going to assume that you're wrong in that information. So if you tell me that the 76% of Missourians, what was it? Their most searched superhero was She-Hulk in 2017, or was it 2017, or maybe this year? Anyways, their most searched super female superhero was She-Hulk. And so if I don't give you a citation, like I didn't tell you where I found that, then I'm going to assume that you're lying because you didn't, or you made that fact up. Now, if you can give me a citation for it, I'm going to assume it's true. Now, with that being said, that doesn't mean that you can go and copy and paste, word from word for a website. That is plagiarism. But if you just give me facts and you paraphrase them and you don't give me a citation, I'm not going to say, oh, you plagiarized. I'm going to say, hey, you need a citation there, because I'm more from the idea that you need to have a good argument, a good structure of an argument, rather than to assume that you're a lying, cheating scum. So anyway, so 2 absences drop 1 letter grade in here, and 3 absences result in a failing grade. I'm not sure how that works with online. I'm assuming that you just have to do the work and log in once a week. That's how my other online classes work with other schools. So I'm going to go out and just say that that's the rule for now. But all these policies, oh, can you click on that? Sweet, you can actually click on that here. I didn't know you could do that. Huh. Okay, well, you can actually click on that link and it'll take you to all the university policies here. Well, now I lost it. Come on. There we go. Ah, crap. There we go. So you can click on that and see all the university policies, and then there's a little bit more on attendance there as well. Course objectives, I'll let you guys read those. Oh, good. I was like, oh man, did I change those from my English class? I did. So these are the right course learning objectives. So just kind of look through those. Those are the things that I want you to learn by the time you leave here, which I'll show you where you do, because I have a course schedule here in a few minutes. So the participation, let's see. So there's just a number of things that I'm going to have you guys do, and basically everything that you do that isn't an essay or isn't an exam or isn't a research paper or a presentation or the first assignment, basically if it doesn't fall into those 5 categories, it falls into participation, right up here. You don't just have, a homework block. So essentially everything you do during the week counts as participation, and it comes up with about 15% of your grade. The big chunks of your grade come from the exams. You got 2 of those, one in week 6, one in week 11. And self-reflection essays, those are every 3 weeks, starting in the 2nd week, which is kind of weird, but it's the 2nd week, the 5th week, and the 8th week, I believe. Don't quote me on that. It's in the course schedule. We'll look in just a second. And the research essay and the presentation, those are the last in. So the course is actually kind of backloaded in that most of your assignments are kind of due at the end. You do things here and there, but for the most part, I want you to focus on reading and learning the theories, because really that's what psychology is you're learning the theories to form yourself a toolbox. That way you know, from a psychological perspective, how do you approach a certain situation based on these criteria. So, I mean, think of it like the DSM. You're probably not in counseling. So the DSM is a book in counseling that gives kind of the criteria for all of the disorders and all the things that are ailments to people as far as mentality goes, or mental illness goes. And so the DSM says if they fall into this criteria, this criteria, this criteria, this criteria, you should probably diagnose them as, schizophrenic or ADHD or something like that. And so think of it that way, in that, where was I going with this? Now I completely forgot. Wow. I completely forgot what I was talking about. I'm going to go back and read and see what I was talking about.